Good morning from downtown Tucson, the Presidio. Lucas says hello. This is his favorite corner because I let him walk off leash. Dead end corner. Let me see if I can show you guys that. It's more pretty in person. But this is the Presidio district, and this is where the Spanish had their fort, and I've been learning a lot about the history here. And I just wanted to post. I live in a military base. I am so pro-military. It's not even funny, and I didn't even know how pro-military I was till I came down here, and I realized I was raised by a Marine Corps veteran mother. She used the GI Bill to raise herself out of poverty, go through college, and I would say that's exactly what happened. She used it. It was 100% intent. My Uncle Bruce said, you don't have very much money, you're smart, you need to go to college, you need to do something with your life. And instead of picking the Navy, she picked the Marine Corps because it was harder. I think it was more of a challenge. There was less women in there for sure. I think it was just a pride thing. I honestly chatted with her about it. And, family, friends, correct me where I'm wrong, of course. But the Marines are pretty hardcore. I've learned the differences in between the different, the Army, the Air Force, Marine. They all kind of have their own, I would say, personality for sure. Identity maybe would be a better word, right? I just want to just love on them folks, and I want to encourage us all to love on them folks because, they're just the type of human being that we want role models to be. Work hard, self-sacrifice, discipline, teamwork, diversity. And the military was one of the first things before the laws in America that started to get diversified. They started to, realize that we're all, as human beings, whatever we're color, sexual orientation, sexual, whatever that is, male, female, right? We can all serve our country to the top of our ability, right? And they knew that before anybody. Now, we all know there's problems, and that it wasn't perfect, but I will say it was before the laws were in place, right? They did it in the military. And what I've heard recently that really upset me was that there was some women that were pulled off the list by, I don't even want to say his name, by the worst Department of Defense official we've ever had. And it's very suspect. It doesn't really make any sense other than he pulled them off the list to be promoted because they were women. And I think maybe some of them were even women of color. Women's bad enough. I mean, obviously not letting somebody get promoted based on their color or women or whatever reason. But come here, buddy. Come here. What we all know, what do we know? What is the knowable information? We're not talking about politics right now. What do we know? It's not easy to get on that list. It's not easy to get on a list where the Department of Defense, the Secretary of Defense needs to sign off on your promotion, right? That's not an easy list to get on. It's not a political list either. It's not a popularity contest to get on those lists. Those people have to have spent years of exemplary service to get a promotion like this, okay? And here's another thing that I learned about the military is it's even harder to get a promotion because basically everybody wants they want to work towards something. Somebody wanting to work towards being better at something, right? But there's a finite amount of those leadership positions. That's just how it is. That's just how the math works, right? So when you finally get your name on a list that's so high up of a promotion that the Department of Defense Secretary has to sign off on it, and he kicks you off the list and you don't get a promotion. What is that? Right? Like that, I don't want to say that we're talking about politics, and I don't want to say I hate politics. I hate leadership like that. I think that's what I'm talking about, is leadership. We are just so happens to be politically appointed leadership, but are you okay? If you're in the military, you have military family or friends, are you okay with that? Like, I'm so not okay with things right now, and I want to support the troops, right? I want to support the troops. So I'm not one to just say that all is sunshine and roses and we don't want them to ever worry about. You know what? The troops know what's going on in the boots on the ground too, right? Our troops have kids, folks. Families live here in town with me that are being sent over there in my hometown where I'm living right now. So this is what I'm trying to say is it's time for calls to your senator in your state. If you live in a red anything, I need your help. I think that's what I am saying. If you live in a red controlled part of America, I need you to make a phone call to your elected officials to say that you don't condone certain things that we're doing that we don't condone right now. We can't just it doesn't seem that they want to make decisions that are smart or have integrity behind them, and if you want to have some more integrity, it seems like we're just gonna have to pick up the phone and make a call. I think that's the only way to change how some leaders are acting right now, is them seeing people, call them, protest, whatever, that didn't do it before. And here's the point I'm going to leave with us all, is we've got to clean the weeds out of our own backyard, right? So I'm trying to work on whatever I can do as Harley to not bring the rest of us down, right? I'm trying to bring my community, my family, my friends, you guys, high vibing. It's going to be crazy. I just believe that, but I'm here for you. I mean, if you need me to come, hop in the car, but I'm also going to be here for myself. I'm working on a cool paddleboard project. Me and Luca are getting ready for the summer. And so, let's balance our new knowledge getting with some fun stuff. And I find give myself something to, it just is so, I wish I didn't have information each day that really made me want to make a video like this. But I'm going to limit the amount of time I spend learning about what's going on out there, because it seems to bring you down, right? But I'm also going to be posting some videos on a kayak project and those kind of things, and DIY as cheap as we can be. We're going to start talking about how we can, live within our means, start saving some money, and because who knows what's happening in the future. It seems our leadership is just as worried as we are, maybe not making the right decisions. I don't really want to point blame. I'm not here to recommend you guys blame anybody. I guess that's what I also want to say, because that doesn't matter. What does matter is we can always admit mistakes, move forward. That's called integrity. This video is all about integrity today. And if you can't admit your mistakes, admit you're wrong, admitting your mistakes gives you integrity. People's like, wow, that strong, powerful person admitted their mistakes, getting help, right? Those kind of things I don't see happening as much. I don't see people speaking up truth to power at all. I see people being outraged, right? I see people protesting and those kind of things, but it's a fine line. when you're gonna talk to power, you gotta have some tone of voice. You gotta be solid in yourself in this world right now too, when you're communicating. So we'll go over some communication tips. I have plenty of walk and talk videos like this that go over concepts and principles on my channel. So if you're new, check it out. We're gonna get better. We got a video setup. I spent all day yesterday kind of getting ready to do a video setup and whatnot. So excited for the future. And like the Stockdale paradox, okay? We will get through. Can't tell you how long, can't tell you how rough it's gonna be, but we will get through. Love you all.